This is a monthly recap video for the Freeze Dry Business channel where we cover everything from the videos that were produced on this channel as well as other freeze drying business industry news and information about what is upcoming with future content. Now, whether you're new or you've been watching my videos, if you're not a subscriber yet, hit the subscribe bell. I'd love for you to join this business community where we're all focused on freeze drying and helping each other. Now that the month of April in 2024 is a close, I'd like to go over the videos that I produced in case you missed out on what came out on this channel. The first video in April that came out on this channel was about automation and packaging, where I interviewed a company called Eis Automation based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I was there in person. I met with a sales engineer who knows all about the packaging and automation side. And what they do is they focus on the consulting side of someone like you or me who has a growing business and needs to figure out how to automate their packaging so that they can save more time on the labor side of packaging their product. Now, I thought this was really informative, and I'm going to explore more of this with this company because I think there's a lot of value in exploring how you can save money, especially when you're getting into higher volume wholesale type business. So if you're someone in the freeze drying space and you are kind of at capacity of how much you can output within packaging, also maybe you're just tired of packaging freeze-dried candy and freeze-dried fruit, whatever you're freeze drying, well, automation can really help build that. And so if you want to talk to Eis Automation, then check out the link below in the video description. I'll include a link to that video, and then you can contact Sam, who is the rep at Eis, and just have a consultative call with him. It's completely free, and they'll kind of tell you a little bit about what they do. The second video that I released in April was really exciting because I had an exclusive look at the brand new commercial freeze dryer that Harvest Right Freeze Dryers came out with called the HRC 100. Now, if you haven't checked out that video, I've got both footage of me being there at their facility right in front of the HRC 100. It's in a full production mode right now, so you can actually talk to them about ordering one for yourself and your business. Now, this machine can do upwards of 100 pounds of product, which is far beyond anything that we have currently available today that doesn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's industrial freeze dryers and other types of manufacturers of freeze dryers that have these type of machines that can do 100 pounds or more, but Harvest Right has priced out the HRC 100 at under $10,000. They've also added a service level agreement that you can add to the purchase of your HRC 100 for about $3,000, and what that'll include is a personalized, very dedicated concierge service contract with them so that you get very personalized service with that machine. Now, this is a game-changing machine. The reason I say it is because at the price point that they're offering for that $10,000 price to be able to do upwards of 100 pounds of product, you're not going to be able to find that anywhere right now with freeze dryer manufacturers, no matter what industry you're in. And so all the freeze dryer manufacturers that currently have the capacity of 100 pounds or more, they're going to have to play catch-up mode for a while to catch up to what Harvest Right is pricing this machine at. So if you're at the point that you have multiple freeze dryers and you're looking to scale your business without having to have a large footprint for a huge industrial sized freeze dryer, but you're also looking for something that can do maximum capacity, man, this HRC 100, man, it's the cost of basically 2 XLs. So check out that video. It's in the video description below, and you can talk directly with Harvest Right in their commercial Harvest Right freeze dryer business line directly through those links. Now, the third video that I released was the 6th episode of my Frozen Assets podcast series, where I've been focused on interviewing entrepreneurs and manufacturers in the freeze drying space. If you haven't checked out my podcast series, I've got a playlist below in the video description that you can check out the video side of things. I've also put all the interviews via audio through a podcast on Apple as well as Spotify, so you can actually subscribe to there, and I would appreciate any type of rating or review that you have of the podcast. I'd really appreciate that. That would help get more and more people to see the episode. Who I interviewed was the CEO of Holland Green Science, and this video was talking to Michael, who kind of brought over Holland Green Science to America and then started focusing on the cannabis industry for their freeze dryers. They've got 2 different types of freeze dryers. The Zeros Micros machine can do kind of the size of a large Harvest Right machine right now, kind of a little bit more in between the XL and the large Harvest Right as a comparison. It's around $6,000. Now, this machine has been mainly used on the cannabis side, and that type of product is very delicate. So the value of that type of machine for food, candy, that type of thing is consistency. So you can program the dry time, the vacuum pressure, all of that type of recipe information into the machine, and you can get a very consistent product because that's what it's designed to do. So if you're interested in understanding more about the cannabis side and this particular freeze dryer, which I think is fascinating to learn about, go ahead and check out the video description below, and you'll be introduced to Michael, the CEO of Holland Green Science, as well as their freeze dryers and other topics that we covered in that interview. Now, the fourth video that was published in April was about the TikTok ban, and I covered a little bit about what this actual legislature bill was all about that Biden signed, President Biden of the United States, and how it could impact people who are in not only just the freeze drying space, but people who are selling products via the TikTok shop. Now, personally, for me and my freeze drying business, I do use social media websites, including TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, to promote my products for my business. And so any type of change in these social media platforms, either for regulation or their own algorithm, does have an impact on my business and how people are seeing the information that I want to push out to them. Because all these platforms are free, right? And so you can use paid ads, but it's all free to post organic content. So if you want to learn more about the TikTok bill, I explain it in the video, as well as I talk about what the impact can be on your business and what you can do and strategize moving forward in your business to not rely on these types of platforms. They're great platforms. I don't really think TikTok is going to be banned, but when something like that happens, it makes you kind of raise some eyebrows and realize that you need to be more reliant on things that you can control versus these public companies where they can decide on a whim to change their algorithm and decide who they want to display and who they don't. And we know a little bit about how that's all been acting out through the past couple of presidential elections in the United States. So check out that video if you want to learn more. If you are interested in freeze drying or you have questions about how to start a freeze drying business, I am offering consulting sessions, and I want to provide you with a high quality call to answer all those questions to better equip you to have success in your business. It's something that I wish that was available when I started my business, and even today I really try to connect myself with people who are in the industry who know more than me so I can learn and adapt and grow as a business owner. So if you want to book a session with me, go to freezedrybusiness.com. It's in the link below in the video description, and you're going to go to the About or the Connect pages on that website. That's my website. And fill out the form there. Tell me a little bit about your business and we'll schedule a session with you. I do have a small fee for the sessions, but I guarantee you that you'll be satisfied with the time that I'm dedicating to learning about your needs, helping guide you through your freeze drying business process. All right, here's some freeze drying news that you may not be aware of that are behind the scenes for my channel, people I'm talking to in the industry that I'm going to be coming out with future content about. Number one is I'm actually going to have an interview with the owner of Blue Alpine Freeze Dryers. They're actually based in Eastern Idaho, in Idaho Falls, so I'm really fortunate to be close to them. I live in Boise, Idaho, which is about 5 hours away, and I'm going to talk to the owner there, Corey Merritt, and I'm going to talk to him about his business, how he developed it, what all their freeze drying, their company's all about, how they set this up apart in the marketplace. So I'm really excited about that particular video and interview coming out on my Frozen Assets podcast. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for that interview, as well as subscribe to Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you'll get the audio version of that interview. Now, the other person that I talked to and I'm going to be interviewing is Donald from Donald's Freeze Dryer YouTube channel. Now, he's all about more the mechanical side of freeze drying. He does a great job of reviewing all these different freeze dryers. He's done Stay Fresh, Harvest Right, Blue Alpine. He's got a couple other freeze dryer companies that he's going to be reviewing as well. He also has some very unique approaches to doing common fixes on these machines that can help them run better. And so I'm going to be interviewing and talking to him about how we can all kind of apply his mechanical expertise into fixing our machines when they break down, because we're running a business, we need to get them up and running, and maybe some just tips and tricks of what he sees you can apply to your business so that you can be more experienced in knowing how to fix your machines. So I'm really excited about that. Now, also through the TikTok ban bill that I did a video on, I uncovered a little bit more about TikTok and the TikTok shop. So I'm going to be coming out with a video about how to run a TikTok shop, especially when it comes to freeze drying. There's a lot of people that are already doing it today, They're far more experienced than me, and I'm going to dumb it down so that it's more of the dummy's guide to setting up a TikTok shop. I'm really excited about that, and just kind of better equipping you to better know, one, how to set up a shop, but also how to build other types of mechanisms that you can use to grow your customers and not be relying on these social media channels. Now, through the conversation and the research that I did about cannabis industry leading up to the call with Michael at Holland Green Science, I really found myself drawn to learn more about the cannabis industry. Now, I personally don't freeze dry cannabis, but there's a lot of other manufacturers of freeze dryers who are doing it for the cannabis space, and I think the application, the crossover, has a lot more than what we think of to the food and candy side. So I'm going to be exploring, and I'm connecting with a lot more people in that space, and future content's going to come out, and I think you're going to be really interested to hear about those types of companies and how it applies to the business side of food and candy. So what's new with the freeze drying business community space? Well, one, I want to invite you to join my email list. If you haven't already, go to freezedrybusiness.com. I have built out the skin of a website. It does function a little bit. I'm planning on doing more blog posts and more email marketing, but I'm trying to kind of more build up the structure of what type of value I'm going to bring you in those emails. So if you can do me a favor and subscribe to that email list, I will provide you more information about what type of value I'm going to provide to email subscribers versus those who are watching on YouTube. And that's just another thing that I'm trying to build up, is more of my email list, because I don't know what YouTube's going to change in their algorithm, or Google, or whoever is going to be watching these types of videos. So I'd rather be not as reliant on YouTube, even though it's a great space for me to do these videos. And so email would be a great way for me to add more information and connect with you in a different way. Hey, thanks for watching the April recap. If you want to watch more recaps from this year of videos that you may have missed, or other freeze drying videos, check out the thumbnails coming up next. I'll see you there.